Hey everybody, welcome to our abbreviated Thursday subscriber stream. Happy birthday, shout out to my daughter who is, Pani is 10 years old today, so it's a big birthday. That's why we took a little bit of time out from the stream. Celebrate the birthday here. Panda is having a good time. He doesn't really let loose very often, but in honor of her 10th birthday, the Panda decided to start drinking. He's got a beer, party hat, sunglasses. As you can see, we've livened up the stream with the live Panda Cam. Panda Cam is in effect again. It's been a while since we busted out the Panda Cam. Clash Kid, what's up? JCS, thanks for being our moderator. Acerbate, our most faithful regular here. What's up, everybody? Let me know you're alive. Let me know you guys are alive. We're going to start with game commentary. We've got 6 or 7 games tonight. Basically a little more than half a stream. We should definitely get to 7 games. Someone on sound, good to see you. I know you've got a busy schedule. I'm keeping busy myself. Babysitting and grandma sitting and chess. What's up, everybody? So we're going to get started. We've got game submissions from Big Money, from Jim, from Acerbate, from Uber Driver, Nefedov, Merle, and Dayla. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 at least. Not sure if there was more. Yeah, it looks like De La Corta was the last one. We'll see if we can get it in there, all of those games. We're going to get started with no further ado. Let me know if the stream's... Wow, 501 from Merle Dixon. Big donation. Taking first place out in honor of the Panda Cam for Merle. 501. He's outbidding Clash Kid. It's like Price is Right, man. 7 games already? So I will not submit my game then. Well, Clash Kid, you could submit one. Because we might make 8. You know, 8 would probably be the outlying number. But I wouldn't say it's beyond possibility to do 8. We've only got an hour and a half, but I wouldn't, you know, if you don't want to hang around, if you're not sure if the game's going to get in, then I totally understand. It's nice not to be on a plane. I know the feeling. My last plane trip wasn't very fun. Okay, guys, we're going to get started. So it's Big Money first out of the gate. Correspondence chess, Big Money versus Hefts. And this is brought to you by lichess.org. Supported lichess. I'm a continuous supporter of lichess for, I don't know, quite a while now. Like a year and a half. Okay. So Big Money, let me get this on computer analysis. Actually move times. Wow. Yeah. Okay, so I have like some guinea pig allergies going on. If I start coughing or something. Alright, e4, e5. Knight f3, d6, Philidor's defense. Boring league game. Well, you can always submit anything. We have an open mind. Could be somebody else's game. My Stockfish's been acting a little bit weird. I mean, I'm surprised there that the engine is actually suggesting bishop c4. Depth 37 cloud. You would think like cracking the center with d4 would definitely be white's best move. And certainly knight c3 would be not as good as d4. Knight c3, c5, for example. Transposing the Sicilian. But, alright, so he plays d4, and black plays queen e7. Now, I'm trying to think if I've ever seen anyone play this in this position. More commonly seen is e4, e5, knight f3, queen e7. Thanks again, Merle Dixon, with the very generous donation, being our bits leader for the week. Tomorrow we're going to be, let me check my, how do I check volume settings on Windows again, guys? Now I can't remember. Volume settings in Windows 10, which is new to me. Do I go to settings? Yesterday I was at 88, and like Windows automatically set it down there. I don't know. and then everybody said it was better when it went from 88 to 100. Who said that? Sublime 20. Alright, anyways. So knight c3 looks good. c6. And then we've been here before. So this, I'm surprised how many games there are. There's actually a lot of games with this. Offbeat. What's the point really for black? What's really the point here? I don't know. I don't necessarily get like what queen e7 really does. Does it somehow really threaten anything along the e file? c6, bishop c4. Yeah, I mean, I think that most people play a4 because they're... I'm sorry, I'll turn off Stockfish. My bad. But I mean, I'm scared. HTFP. Maybe you're right. I should turn down the Stockfish. Yeah, we can stream with Stockfish enabled again because my internet is better. Better in Budapest than it is by Comcast in the United States. But it's just the internet. It's the same machine, different capability. But I don't want to leave the engine on all the time. I didn't mean to do that. I forgot that I'm streaming. So a4 is the default move because b5 is enabled. You know, do we really want to allow tricks based on d5 and b5? So bishop c4, and now yeah, you wonder if black can try something like ed and d5 or b5. So funny, nobody played b5. Is there some sort of trap with b5? Because I don't get it. What's wrong with b5? There doesn't seem to be anything wrong with b5. Seems like it would be worth at least trying. A lot of people here playing bishop g4, which is a kind of it's a kind of let me turn this off. It's a kind of, I want to say, fribbled check defense type of theme. I was talking to several players recently how bishop g4 is always a bad move in open games with e4 e5. Maybe this is no exception. Okay, anyways, I would have played a4. Bishop c4 seems pretty good. Yet I don't see a refutation of b5. Yes, it weakens black's position, but there's no easy way to take advantage of it. You know, and your pieces can get kind of hunted down. Do you see any tactics? The engine's like plus 1.5, man. That is totally over the top. I think I need a new engine. Hello, goulash friends. I could go for some good goulash. We say goulash, actually, in Hungarian. But let's see. H6. Oh, all the bad Philidor. So he might be going for one of these lion's jaw type of things, or whatever it's called, with g5. They like to do g5, but you can only do that with like knight d7, bishop e7, knight f8, knight g6. So he's cut out the classic bishop e7, knight f8, knight g6 maneuver. Absolutely clash kid. I mean, b5 will give white possibilities to break it up with a4, but I'm surprised that no one at least tried it. You know, it seems like you could be able to play it. b5 and then make a safe move like bishop b7 or a6. If we looked at a generic chess-based database, they'd probably find it. Anyway, Big Money played a4. I don't know if it's possible to open this up and try to play d5. Something like pawn takes pawn, queen takes pawn, d5. Chances are you just play like bishop here and eventually black will crack, I would assume. Taking on e4, you know, not what it's cracked up to be, perhaps. I don't want to sack pieces now, but I mean, here you have like 95 starting to look sort of scary, so this looks unconvincing for black. Anyways, all right, back to the game. Bishop c4, h6, a4. I like white, no doubt. Knight f6. It's looking like a normal Philidor, but he played queen e7. Castles and then g5. Yeah, and this is the classic. Antoinetta did this when she was a baby in 1995. Okay. She was not a babe, she was a baby. 1995. Well, actually, remember Stefanova a little bit later, maybe around 1997. But alright, g5, d takes e5. Do we really want to do that to give up our strong point in the center here? This opponent of Stefanova's also played d takes e5. But I don't like giving up the center, and I don't like releasing the tension. So it seems like we ought to do something better. Turn off the engine. The engine recommended b3. I don't know if we can do castles. I mean, I'd like to just... We already did castles. What am I talking about? Okay, like a routine move. Let's say rook e1. Is there something wrong with rook e1? Like, seriously? That has to be a good move. Are we afraid of anything here? That's what I would play in Blitz. Just, okay, if you want to play g4, be my guest. You know, this is horrible for black. So I definitely like that a bit better than giving up. I don't see what we really benefit from this. Well, I see. So it's about playing bishop a3. So Big Money also did the exact same thing. b3. Is it worth it to give up your center to try to affect, what, bishop a3? We don't want to play that now, so bishop b2. He's following the exact same play as Mirjana Maric. It's a small world. So many possibilities, and they go down the exact same path. Knight on bd7. This is a novelty, so he's on his own now. I'm going to turn off the engine. The engines was also on queen e2, but I saw this pop through there, the evaluations, and that's a good plan to play knight e2, knight f5, particularly since your bishop is blocked by the knight on c3. So you are going to have to look for knight d1 now, a la Capablanca. It looks like. Guys, it's a short stream today, an hour and a half, and so we're going to do 7 or 8 games rather than 10 or 12. Knight b6 question mark. Whoops. Okay, it's a horrible place for a knight, and I would have played the same as Mr. Big Money. Computer is coming up with scary machine-like tactics. Apparently knight d5. Okay, it's easy if you're a computer. There's some sort of opening of the threats against everything. Bishop takes e5, which just skewers everything. Might be effective there, but it's not a really human line. Bishop d3, it's not so bad. The knight ends up still being misplaced. Temporary problem for white. Bishop g4, I'm not worried about that. Maybe black has bishop h5, g4 type of ideas. It's going to take a while. I'm still looking for knight d1 here. The maneuver knight e3 would be my preference. We played h3. I don't like h3. You know, maybe you're going to play h3 and g4 and lock it up, but I prefer not to move the kingside pawns. So this would be my first guess. We're going here, and then I expect black to make a decision to move his bishop preemptively. Bishop h5, bishop e6. But it looks like bishop h5 would be the best try, and then knight e3, and then try g4. But I'm not sure that this is even good for black at the end of the day. You have a one move threat, and it doesn't really do anything. So, I mean, even if you had to play f3, I still like white here. There is bishop c5 type ideas. I still prefer white with that big f5 square. The pawn to cam. Did you just notice that, Asterbait? You just noticed the pawn to cam? Pawn to cam. You guys all see that, right? Panda's drinking. I've been a bad influence. Welcome everybody to the stream. International Master William Paschall. This is my my subscriber stream. We're going to go over games from our subscribers. Generous donation from Merle Dixon today. You guys can also donate via PayPal. You can hit the streaming donations by hitting the Panda GIF on Twitch. How is the stream? Because right now I'm having trouble, a little problem connecting to my Twitch. I don't know why. It's taking a long time to connect. Alright guys, back to the game. So h3, this could be risky. It really weakens the white king side. Gives him a lever. Stream is fine for you. Okay, I don't know what's up with mine. Della Corta also. So mine just took forever to load. But I don't like this. That's a little problematic if he has g4. That's going to tear open your king side. So what are you going to do? Bishop c8, not as problematic, but if he plays bishop h5, what's big money intending to do here? g4? Are you going to play g4? I mean, you might almost have to play g4, because otherwise g4 is coming with a vengeance. And now black will be able to play for h5. I guess at the end of the day, we have all those tactics that the computer wanted to play for before. You know, this type of stuff, again, in some scenarios. Might be tactics. There might be tactics. There might be giants. But I like h3. Very strange response, bishop c8, and then rook fd1. Again, well, I mean, you could play knight h2. It's kind of passive. You could look for tactics. Again, the computer is on knight d5. a4 seems like a good move for black. a5. All right, let's move on. So, I don't know. Knight d1, still, I think, not a bad plan. Knight d1, knight back to d7, and then knight e3, securing g4 a little bit more. Rook fd1, g4. This I don't really like a lot. We had to deal with that, but it's probably not the end of the world. Engine, of course, finding tactics based on this. Now knight b5, apparently. It's very hard to see. I don't even see how this works. The engine is suggesting this. Takes. And, I mean, this is going to take with a hit on the queen, so we need something fast here. Maybe bishop takes b5 check, and then takes on e5. Something like this. With good compensation for the sacrifice piece, I would assume. White sacrifices a piece for a few pawns and some kicks and giggles. But after g4, natural move hg. That's apparently a blunder. It's a blender. Bishop g4. Queen e3. Very natural play by big money. I would have probably done the same thing. Distinct possibilities of bishop c5 type decoy sacrifices. But he retreats the knight. That's a good move. Now we're facing bishop c5. He'd easily just capitulate here. Black is starting to get g-file threats. All this primitive stuff. Unfortunately, by playing rook d1 now, we've pinned our own knight on f3. This is a move that we're not happy about, but we'll do it if we have to. Eliminate a dangerous piece, but it's a good exchange for black strategically. Acerbate. Pawn just passed out, man. That's why we got the sunglasses on. One beer he was just totally gone. So Acerbate and I were talking about this earlier. Basically, we end up with a bad white-scored bishop, and black can have two good knights and a good bishop against two knights and a bad bishop. This is not an exchange we really want to make. Appleman, Go Banana, yeah, we had two people complain of low volume. Most people say the stream is fine, but I could probably find something in Windows 10 to, you know, fix it. System, I'm not sure. Device Manager, does anybody know Windows 10? How to increase the system volume? Alright, bishop takes a3, rook takes a3, a5 is a good move. Rook d2, and now b6, locking down the dark squares. Knight c5, he's looking for knight e6, knight d4, knight f4. All these good things. But the white squared bishop is pretty good. I think bishop c4 here, worthy of consideration. Back to whence you came. We'd like to sell that white squared bishop for a knight. I think it would be a good deal. This is too passive, I think, bishop f1. Then black just simply exchanges, which is reasonable. Now, any computer will tell you that this bishop is actually not bad. I don't know what's up with this evaluation, so we missed some sort of tactic here. Wait, that's some sort of tactic? I'm not getting it. 3.6 plus 3.6 for white? What? It's that strong. Impressive. Surprising. Knight b7. The Fianchetto knight defending d6. The engine says plus 3.7. Wow. I never would have thought that. Now queen f5. if anything, yeah, the engine's like knight, knight here, knight here. We want to score the knight to f5. We've been looking for that since early on. Does anybody know how to change system volume under Windows 10? Which tab I have to click if I go to start? Because I don't even know. Okay, queen f5, kind of awkward. Castle's kingside. That doesn't look good, but nothing looked good. Black eventually pays. So here he's paying simply two knights for a rook. Nice little tactic, and it's going to be, I think, the revenge of the white squared bishop very soon. That piece is going to come into play majorly with no black knights in the game. Nice move. Kind of opportunistic game, but black is onto this knight here. Oh, we have rook back? Possibly rook back, rook f6. Wow, it's so tempting to play rook back. It's an unbelievable move he played now, bishop c4. But I guess not really unbelievable. There's a triple up on f7. And you have like queen c3, rook d3, maybe rook d3, rook g3. Just devastating. So, but in any case, queen c3, rook f7 just wins on the spot, doesn't it? Maybe not. Queen c3, rook f7, queen f7, king h8. Do we have a mate there? Or do we have to come back? I guess we could play bishop f7. Bishop f7, ironically. Bishop f7 is mate. The quiet bishop f7. So nice game by Big Money. Kind of back and forth strategically, but eventually he just overpowered his opponent. This is definitely a reasonable try. I almost forgot about queen g6 ideas. Nice. Power up. Too much to deal with there. Black just gave up. Not a bad game. Jim, thank you for the donation. Don't ask, don't tell. What's going on, guys? Cute creatures. Jim, what's up, guys? Whoa, Jim just subscribed to tier 1. 5 months. Only 5 months. Major supporter of our stream. I think he let his subscription lapse when I went to the United States, it looks like. The real Big Money. Yeah, queen g6 I noticed a little bit late. That was the key. But there were many ways for you to win there. I'm in Budapest. You guys see the Ponda, right? Ponda is just kind of stoned, drunk. Alright. Ponda, wake up. He's like, I don't want to do this anymore. What's up with the Ponda cam? Pretty large delay. I think the Ponda cam is frozen. That's weird. Oh, that's really strange. Ponda cam is frozen. He's doing all kinds of stunts and stuff now. We've only got 19 viewers? What's wrong? Alright, thank you guys for the donations. We're going to go on to the next game. Okay, so Black was punished eventually for playing g5 in that game. Jim is up next. He's here just in time. Short stream today. It's only an hour and a half. I decided to go gung-ho. Result was pretty amusing. Alright, let's check this out. Candidate Master Barislav. Maybe B is V. Varislav Eingorn. It's not Varislav Eingorn, that's for sure. Okay. So, Eingorn is white, Jim is black. No, I'm just kidding. It's not Eingorn. He's not a former 2600. Okay, white plays d4 and Jim goes b6. Dubious. By whose standard? Okay, so Jim is playing b3 a lot. He's going to be playing this with both colors. Astrobate will enjoy this. We got the Owen defense. This is an interesting point. far more players here playing bishop e7 than e6. While I don't think there's anything wrong with e6, it's a little more flexible to give yourself the option to play without e6 and be able to play e5 in one. There's a few lines where black plays e5 in one go, basically. So you take that away from yourself. The white has the option here to transpose to the, let's say, English defense. Knight f3. This is like reasonable, but essentially a kind of quiet move. I think I prefer the bishop d3 immediately, delaying knight f3, and then playing for bishop d3, queen e2 quickly, which I mentioned many times, and I play that myself. Well, I mean, you know, dubious is a relative thing, Jim, right? What is really dubious? Sicilian is dubious, according to computers. Alright, so bishop b7, bishop d3, c5, and that's why I like the St. George better. It seems more active to play a6 and b5, but in those positions you're getting undermined by a4, so it's a little more tight, but less counterplay when you play the Owen. And then white castled, so I don't know too much about that. I mean, what this becomes is a kind of Chom Sicilian after the Grandmaster Istvan Chom, one of my Hungarian colleagues. Chom played a lot of Sicilians with 2b6. He's a creative player now. He's like a pensioner, but he was a good player. Still can play, but yeah, I don't know if he much does. c5 castles. So white needs to play c3 here. I really don't think that you should do much of anything else. If you're going to play an open Sicilian, I mean, you're playing an open Sicilian with your bishop on this like lame square. How many times do you put the bishop on d3 in the open Sicilian? Not that common. It's not a great square. C takes d4, knight takes d4. So, I mean, it's not that bad for white. There are variations where it goes to d3, but just generally not that great. Alright, so there's a lot of games we transposed to here. Gaia Magami, favorite player of mine, Iranian Grandmaster. d6. This move is not very common, and I can understand why. It seems less aggressive and less flexible than a lot of other moves. a6. Queen c7 runs into knight b5, I guess. Excuse me. Knight f6 runs into e5. So it doesn't appear we have that many options. Kamsky like knight e7, a6, knight c6. That's about it. Or the text move d6. Okay. I'm a little worried about bishop e5 check, but that apparently is not a big deal. Knight c3, and now so few games here. Wow. Knight f6. Normally we're playing a6 pretty early in these type of positions. White played bishop g5. Not a move I'm crazy about. This is his good bishop with that pawn on e4. One of our biggest supporters here, Dim, playing white. I still like a6 though. If I'm going to choose a move here, it would be a6. It's just so useful in every kind of hedgehog. You always need a6. There's a Chom game actually as we speak against my 82-year-old teammate, Dr. Liptai Laszlo. 82, he's drinking Red Bulls. I guess he'll be 82 this year. He drinks Red Bull. Still over 2,300. It was like 22.98. So speaking of the devil, Chom with black, 2009. a6 I like. Alright, knight f6. So bishop g5. An active move, but this big piece white needs. This is an empty threat. You're never going to exchange here. Knight d7, f4, lots of hollow dark squares. It seems like Jim is going out of his way not to play a6. If the volume is low, somebody tell me how to fix that. Is it settings? Under Windows 10, devices, system. Settings, system. Let me see if I can find it. Sound. It took a long time, but I figured this out. Speakers. Microphone. Alright, microphone. Hmm. Let's see. Manage sound devices. Advanced sound options. Sound control panel. Sounds recording. Microphone. Properties? No, this is not right. Wait, microphone? Properties, levels? Okay, yep, it's down to 88 again. And why does it do that? It like automatically sets itself down to 88. To protect my viewers from not hurting. It was to protect my viewers from not hurting their ears. Thank you, Microsoft, for protecting my viewers from not harming themselves with a high volume. F4 question mark. So whenever I like start the machine again, it like resets itself back to some kind of default setting at level 88 instead of 100. Brilliant. I love Windows 10. Okay, F4 Bishop E7. But I want to know if Jim is like purposely not playing A6. Like seriously, you're going out of your way to delay that. And the only time you ever do that is when you play like Knight A6, Knight C5 or something. I don't understand why you're going out of your way to delay A6. He plays H6, which is reasonable. And now he goes for it with G5. Standard idea. It does look like white is thinking about E5. Lots of tactics in the air, but there's no knight takes E4 now. G5 is the only trick in town. Definitely similar to a Najdorf, although you hate A6. It makes you wonder, is E5... I mean, this knight is unprotected by anything. You're just asking for tactics there. I can't imagine playing this position without A6 at some point. At some point, that's going to haunt you. You know, the fact that a bishop comes there with check or a knight comes to B5. But he doesn't. He plays G5. All right, I don't see it. I don't see the, you know, the big deal here. He could also, like, decline it, but bishop G3. Okay, I mean, bishop G3 is a move. It's an alternative. So then, I mean, to be fair, it does seem like knight H5 would be... Get E5, man. It's like Vasily... no, what's his name? What was Salov's name? There was this tournament in the 90s, a Sicilian thematic tournament in Argentina, the Polugievsky Sicilian theme tournament, where Salov, Valery Salov, who disappeared from chess, was a top 10 player. He just mastered the E5 square in all these like Sicilian thematic games in that tournament. This is huge. It shows an understanding for black. But let's see. So bishop takes G5, knight G4. We're basically fishing, it feels like. But this is 5+5, so it's okay to do a little bit of fishing. Objectively, I don't know if this wing gambit is sound. It's interesting. Is there an alternative in bishop F4? Probably not, but you never know. Like, this might actually work. I'm looking at bishop F4, and I'm going to answer E5 with knight F5. And you're going to be very unhappy when I play, like, pawn takes pawn, knight G7 check. No, you're not. This actually doesn't work. All right, never mind. All right, so that looks like it works. Very good. I don't see the compensation. Not clear. But maybe white could play like queen G3, something crazy. You gotta have a lot of imagination here. But I could see maybe something crazy happening. Probably not enough, though. We just take a piece. Alright. Crazy game, guys. Knight G4. Here, here. Now black can castle queenside. He has good fishing potential. Cheapo potential. Is Salov the conspiracy theory guy? I don't know. He was like a top player and just kind of quit. I never really understood the story. maybe it was health issues with Solov. As far as I know, he's still alive. But to go from like top 10 to just not playing at all in a period of 5 years is kind of weird. Queen takes e7, h3, knight on g to e5. You've been kicked back, sir. Compensation, half a pawn, I would say, at this point. My experience, we're talking about half a pawn compensation. Where are the viewers? Just 21 viewers. My subscriber stream never attracts a lot of GDIs because I'm here for you guys, subscribers. Knight on GD5, I don't care. I'm giving back to you. Knight CB5, King D8, triple exclam. All right. I knew this was going to haunt us eventually, Jim. Dude, the computer says, what? I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong position. You played knight c5, correct. I think that's like the only move. Are you going to pay for not playing a6? White should play apparently b4. He played rook d1. A little bit of a weird move, since there is a bishop in the way. Not sure what that does. It's like you're religiously opposed to a6. Were you playing this game with a6 odds? Did you have like a side bet? You said, I bet I can play the Sicilian without ever playing a6 against you. And you guys agreed, like, if you didn't play a6, then you would, like, you know, win an extra $10 or something? Because I don't get it. I mean, at this point, it's like, why not play a6? In this point, he's actually hanging his a-pawn with check because he hates a6 so much. I mean, knight a7 check, king b8, knight back to b5. You're now 2 pawns down, and I'm not sure if there's enough compensation. Although, admittedly, like, a rook coming here is going to be pretty nasty. Knight a7, king b8, knight b5, a knight to b5, then this. And, yes, it looks a little gruesome, because we're threatening rook takes h3 with real stuff for black now. Alright. I'll let you slide. Queen g3. Ooh. That's absolutely, like, chess blindness. Like, what's the worst move on the board? Facing rook on d to g8 as the next move. You guys can contact me on my lichess profile. You can also, if you're interested in coaching, you can email me, videochesstrainer@gmail.com. Rook on g to d8, and now on d to g8, you're just crushing. Knight a7, and then king b8, question mark. Easily the most natural move in the world. But the guy has a miracle. He has a freaking miracle. Queen takes e5.com. I see it. I see it. Oh, man. He saw it too. Damn, you had to play king d7. That's a tough move to find. Most people would just miss this. Bang. Black's totally toast now. That sucks. Such an unexpected tactic. Man, it was an inspired game. Now you're going to try to trap that knight, but you're down a piece. Just not enough here. I certainly wouldn't resign, given that amoeba of pawns and the rooks on h8 and g8 and the time control. So he actually screws this up. But, I mean, you're just not... I mean, the knight is trapped, though, isn't it? Come to think of it, I mean, it's trapped. So his last move is a blunder. I mean, even b4 has to be stupid. So he basically wins a piece. You decide to play this. Which in itself... I mean, most people would take this back here. Like, what's going on? You take the piece back, rook takes f7, king goes somewhere, and what's going on? You're down a couple pawns. But you didn't do that. Instead, you played rook g7, like a crafty move, and then knight f3. He missed knight b5 check. Somehow you battled back. Cagey defense. And now it's endgame land. Astrobate, how do we evaluate this endgame? Very nice amoeba of pawns here. Pretty good king. Better minor piece. I think that black has good compensation for the sacrifice pawn. Backward pawns galore. Knight isn't that great with these outside pawns like the H and A pawns. So black has compensation. Man, this pawn started moving. It's going to be very, very problematic for white. There goes one. So now it's even material. And the amoeba grows stronger every day. It's like the Blob. You guys like the movie The Blob? Anybody know that? Am I too old? One of my favorite horror movies. This is just like, welcome to the most delicious minor piece endgame ever. Bang, bang, F5. Oh, you didn't play it. You got to play F5 here. I mean, what's wrong with F5? Is knight here a problem? I got to believe that F5. If he plays knight C4, I mean, you can play E4. And I don't know if he can maintain that blockade for forever. This has got to be good. I mean, I realize he has a semi-blockade, but I think it's kind of a fallacy. You know, you've got rook G3 coming in here. The pawns are going to fall. That bishop is strong. No, white's in big, big trouble here. Amazing how he fell apart. Ooh, that's awkward. King C6. Wow, you just wanted to walk up here and just do what you want. The overconfident king. He's like, no, you're not doing that. And now you're like, hope chess. Maybe I can get my king to E5 and like mate myself or something. Oh no, rejected again. Doubly rejected. At every attempt. Man, get the F-pawn moving, dude. Wow. Rejected again a third time. This is unbelievable. He just keeps getting rejected. Alright, rook A2. Finally, F5. And then F4. And it is over now. It's almost over. How do we finish him off, though? There's got to be a way. This is the perfect scenario on the queen side. It's a little tricky, isn't it? Maybe rook F5? It's a strange move, but probably very strong. Rook F5. Let's check the engine. No, it was on the list. Rook F5 was on the list, but it didn't quite make the cut. Fg3, knight G3, rook G4. That's such a shame. The engine doesn't think you're winning here. Okay, king D6, A5. Now he's got two connectors. I still favor black. At the very least, you could sack your bishop for his connected pawns. You gotta get your rook wild. Man. I wish I had time to play something like, but where else can you put the rook? There's no other open file. It sucks. Here. The awkward king again. Jim is the master of the king in the endgame. Ooh, this is getting awkward. I would take a draw now. This will be decided by time, apparently. Trying to lose. Who's trying to lose here? Oh man, I don't know now. That's awkward. So he actually had a win with king A5. Oh my god. I'm not surprised. Now you have to play like perfectly to hold a draw. And you actually ended up losing. No, it was an instructive game. It was really entertaining, man. Thank you for sharing. Alright, that was only 2 games through. Planet Chess Club, thank you. Who is Planet Chess Club? I sound like Jeopardy or something. Uber. Uber is up next. No, Astrobate, my bad. Astrobate's up next, guys. We're taking subscriber submissions. And I'm doing 7 or 8 games tonight. So we've got an hour left in the stream. We'll get in as many as we can. No promises. That was awesome. Does he read the chat? Oh well. I don't read all the chat. We got an alert. I'm sorry. The raid. We had a raid. Planet Chess Club was raiding with a party of 15. I'm sorry, man. I was really into the game. I don't do bullet chess, and my response time is not that fast as like the typical bullet player. My stream is kind of a slower pace, so sometimes I'll like miss the chat for like 5 minutes. It's the thing about it's the thinking thing, you know. That's kind of inconvenient for some people who favor faster time controls. But this is like my longest thoughtful stream where I'm really deeply analyzing games. So I'm not surprised. I'm sorry I totally missed your raid with a party of 15. Thank you. Not to be unappreciative, because you definitely helped the stream a lot, because we didn't have a lot of viewers there, but I appreciate it. I just get so into the analysis sometimes that I'm totally not looking at the chat at all. I apologize. But it's necessary. Absolute concentration. Let's see. So this is Rapid Chess Acerbate against... I'm in the zone, basically. I can't be bothered with the chat for that brief period. Seemingly brief period. Okay, this is Acerbate playing the Owen defense. His favorite defense. E4, B6. Our second Owen defense of the day. Yeah, Bishop B7, another guy who plays Knight F3, but this particular example drops a pawn on E4. Now, you could call it a sacrifice. Here's a guy who's 2000 against Florian Grafel, a German IM who I played back in the day. And a 2048 like played this and dropped his E4 pawn. That's a little hard to believe. I mean, even in rapid chess, how does a 2048 player... It must have been a sacrifice. I mean, I've seen people do sacrifices like this, trying for some kind of wild, crazy, sort of unsound, primitive attacks. There are situations where you can sack that pawn, but I don't think this is going to be the spot. Acerbate just believed him. Acerbate was probably just like blitzing a little too fast. I don't think necessarily he believed him. Maybe he just kind of blitzed his moves automatically. I got to imagine that Acerbate would normally take that pawn. You're going to lose a little bit of time. Probably the best move is Knight C3. Okay, so it's basically a kind of more a gambit against the Owen. But no. I mean, here you could play like D5. Bishop D3. How much do you get? 2 tempi for a pawn. I mean, tempi, you need three tempi to basically compensate for a pawn. So I don't think so. It's funny, it's okay for blitz, but I wouldn't sack this pawn in a more than 5-minute game. Good for bullet. White scored 50% with this move in those 3 games. Wait, there's something wrong with the database. No, there's no way, dude. I mean, what kind of database is this? There's 3 games, black didn't take the pawn in any of the 3. There's something seriously suspicious about that. 2400 against 2300, black didn't take the pawn. 2300 against 2200, black didn't take the pawn. You're telling me like Florian Grafel didn't take this pawn? I mean, I don't believe this, man. Let's see what the engine says. It's like half a pawn compensation max for white. I would snap the pawn so fast you wouldn't even see it. It would just like go up in flames. I would just shear it off the board so fast. You got to take the pawn. It's not even a question. Like, you have to. It doesn't matter if it's classical. I could understand if it's bullet. Like, in bullet, it might be a bad decision to play bishop takes e4. Number 1, because it takes so long to reach out there and take it. And number 2, because you kind of lose the initiative. But in blitz or faster or longer, you're going to have to take the pawn, man. Okay. So now you gave way to great Alyakin's defense, essentially, with e5. All right, I don't like knight d5 here. You're gonna have to try knight g8 or knight e4. I think knight e4 is the most fun because with knight e4 you can aim to maybe sort of get your knight out with f6 and knight g5. I think the prudent move is knight g8. But this looks like you're... Yeah, you did this against me or somebody recently. Acerbate. Same thing happened. This is something you shouldn't do anymore. Don't do this anymore, ever again. Promise me you'll never do this again. The pretzel. This is the pretzel defense. Knight a6. Not funny, man. Don't do this, seriously. b4. Consistent. Maybe I saw this game already somehow. Was this from our tournament? No, this is 10-0. How would I have seen this game already? I feel like I saw it already. You did something similar against me. c5 seems like almost mandatory. But it's awful for black. bc, bc, d5. The ultimate Benoni. Man, he goes for everything. Ouch. Oh no. How could he not play d5 now? Permanence. This is the poster child of strategically lost positions. This is horrendous for black. It's just, you're never gonna get free. You know, your knight and your bishop and your knight are just in the coffin. It's a nightmare. So I can't believe he didn't do that. Completely lets you out of the bag, and your move isn't bad. I mean, e6 is not that bad as long as you don't let him play d5. It's okay. You should probably take on d4. So castle, c takes d4, bishop g5. Now you got a choice. Also queen c8. You know, you might want to think about f6. I would definitely consider f6 as well as queen c8. The computer will come up with crazy stuff. I've played this St. George like for a long time, so I'm looking for this variation right here. Probably pawn takes pawn, knight e5. It's always like fun to play this move with white. You got obviously the happy queen h5 coming down next, and you can't take either way because it's so violent. Black's end. So it's not safe to play f6. Bishop e7 is the safest. Queen c8 is kind of funky. So you played soundly. Okay. It's just a shame to trade our defender. b7, queen e7, knight bd2, and you see that big square there. So, okay, let's stop and think for a minute. We have a big problem with the knight on b8, man. We've talked about this before. I did a middle game series for the chess world, but you don't need to buy it, I guess, because I don't get paid. Just up front. I'm just kidding. f5 anyway. It was a good series, seriously. No, you should buy it anyway, just because it's good, even if you're not benefiting me financially. Knight on bd2, f5. Okay, we need to think about this position strategically. So this pawn is hurting us, it's restricting us, and we need to think about like d6 probably. It destroys his center, and it ensures that your knight will get in the game. JCS bought it. One of the concepts that I mentioned in the middle game series is the bad bishop and the bad knight. And the best example of the bad knight is the Queen's Indian. Any type of Queen's Indian position. This is a kind of extreme example, but this Owen defense turned into a Queen's Indian knight problem. It's a literal nightmare with the both knights that can't get out. But, you know, you've got no a6, no c6. Your knight has to go through d6. Or sorry, d7, so you have to play d6. Gotta do it, man. f5? Well, f5 is fine, but it's like, what are you going to do? Stay bottled up? And now when you play d6, it's going to be a different story. Because you're going to have pressure down the e file. You got to think about this strategically. So this f5 is okay, but it's not the best move. I like the way the white played this. Rook e1. Yeah, and it's scary as heck to play d6 now. But you got to do it. You got to do it. You got to get your knight in the game. Yeah, you're lucky that c7 knight is holding that pawn on the e6 to make this even possible. So you missed the essential point. You know, you cannot play with your knight on b8. You got to get it in the game before it's too late. So queen g5, just playing for cheapos. You're going nowhere. Continuing to play for cheapos. And he doesn't need to do that. I mean, if you play queen h3, he has bishop f1. And the last laugh is on you. So basically, you're fishing around here, but your position is messed up because your knights can't move. The health of your position is h4 actually is tragedy. You missed g5. I think you and Jim should get together and you guys can have a meeting of the minds about a6, whether to a6 or not, and when to play a6. But this is a disaster. He's like, hey, get your pieces out. Sure, I'd love to help you, you know, get all your pieces out. What? Like, this pawn is just like paralyzing all of black's pieces. Why would you take on a6? This is a disaster. Here, bishop e2, okay. Now all of a sudden Acerbate's all over him. He fixed all of his problems. He has less weaknesses than white, and he's just clearly better. Queen b1. That was his plan, I think, when he took on a6. He was like, I'll attack this pawn on b6. Meanwhile, he's hanging all his pieces. Acerbate doesn't care. 1 knight, 2 knight, 3 knight, 4. 5 knight, 6 knight, 7 knight, or so these knights just all drop. Oh. So queen takes d2 and queen takes b6 and queen takes d4. I don't know. Who takes more pieces more quickly there? Acerbate, this is also good. Alright, man. Go for it. The jugular. This is prettier. You got pretty brute force mates. How did this happen? The knight is defending the bishop on b7. That's so cute, dude. Oh no, and the brutal mates. The brutal mates. I don't think this is the fastest one, probably. h5. I wanted to do the queen sacrifice. It doesn't work. Playing with your food. Nice finish though. Alright guys, we only have 30 minutes left. I'm gonna try to get through the rest of these games if I can. I don't know if I'm gonna get through all of them. Clash will be left out. Alright. So next up is Uber. Did I miss any raids or anything? I'm sorry. Walk down the ratings plank like one of my Grandmaster opponents many years ago in a magazine cover. Walk the ratings plank. Okay, we're having fun. Panda's here. He's just kind of passed out. Pandas have a 1 beer tolerance, it appears. Well, Carlsberg, and he's done. That was a great game, Acerbate. Very entertaining. You should take up the St. George. I think you should expand your horizons. Start playing e4, a6, d4, b5. You would enjoy it. Guys, thanks Merle Dixon, Clash Kid, Jim for 300 this week. A lot of generous donations. Tomorrow we're going to have a stream, Friday, 10 a.m. It's going to be like Fast Friday with our open challenges, open mic night, 5+3. I think I can recognize your games even if you didn't have your name listed there. That's awesome, Merle. We feel the same way about you. All right, engine off. Let's go to the next game, Uber. Uber driver, where are you? There it is. So I'm in Budapest. He's playing the Budapest. Fajarowitz variation. Yeah, you played this against me and you harassed me with it. You drew me with the Budapest Fajarowitz. The heck. Okachala. 1892. It was a bad year. He's got a one-track mind. We're working on endgames with Acerbate, but, you know, how often do Acerbate's games actually get down to the endgame? It's the chicken and the egg thing. I don't know, like, which one it is. D4, knight f6, so I want to see this from the Budapest side. On the right side, c4, e5. On the left side, d takes e5, knight e4. So on the right side or on the left side? It's a famous Hungarian sort of song called Hello Tourist. By this guy Hayosh. D takes e5, knight e4, the Fajarowitz here. Normally knight g4 is on the left side. More reliable. This is, you know, technically not supposed to be a great opening for black. This is not the traditional Budapest with knight to g4. Unfortunately against this guy, Uber Driver, I haven't really gotten anything. Couple games that I played with white. Concordians, thank you for the donation of 100 bits. I try to make it instructive. Most people like playing 1-minute chess online, but life is very short, so I really feel like we should try to make the most out of our time and actually learn something while we're here and having fun. 94, but appreciate the donation and the follow here. Guys, also check out my YouTube channel where I upload the old streams, video chess training on YouTube. I got a short stream, unfortunately, tonight. It was my daughter's birthday, so we cut it down an hour. I've only got like 30 minutes or so left. 94, knight f3, bishop b4, check. I imagine that bishop c5 would be possible. But apparently nobody plays that. I guess it's like an unimproved version. Some people do play knight c6. There's some weird moves with b6. That looks like the England gambit, like b6, queen d5. Oh, isn't Soltigo or someone? Maybe Astrobate remembers. No, it was Nils and his friend. Nils isn't here tonight, but we'll remember ourselves to Nils, one of our favorite subscribers. He's donated a number of generous donations to the stream and just gift subs and stuff. Nils had a game with b6, queen d5. I think he lost. If it wasn't his exact position, it was the same exact theme, like a move or so earlier or later. Okay. Lev Gutman, player of Weird Openings. Khmelnytsky, player of Weird Openings. Khan Avarth. I know all these people except for Romero Holmes. Bishop b4 check, knight on bd2. Knight c6. a3. Yeah, I mean, a3 seems like a timeout. We're taking a timeout. This is probably similar to what I did against Uber Driver, isn't it? Bishop takes d2, bishop d2, knight d2, queen d2. Did I play the same way against you? Queen e7? But I don't remember this, though. And this looks like book. Queen c3. I don't remember any kind of queen c3. I didn't make it this far in the book. I somehow made some inaccuracies. So black's just down the fat pawn right now. Huh. b6, bishop b7. He plays castles. Well, that's more logical to pile up. Merle, did we have a game like this? Because this could have happened. I just forgot. Rogozenko against Khan Avarth from 1995. Probably here. In Budapest. Castles. e3. Rook e8. Yeah, this looks like a game I had. I went g3 and bishop g2. Okay. Did I call Uber driver Merle Dixon? I don't know what would make me do that. All games drawn. So I went g3 here, which was a theoretical novelty. Interesting. I saw this diagonal and I liked it, but I got nothing anyway. Man, that's a bummer. So it looks like rook d1 is some secret move to play rook d5. I didn't know about that. Now I do. So be careful. Got some old school players. Garcia Palermo. Rook d5 is a huge idea. That's got to be critical. Rook e8 and rook d5 in your face. Yeah. So this is what we're going to bring to the table next time against Mr. Good company there. Garcia Palermo and Haba. All right. Anyways, that's the only way to play. He's got nothing. This is a draw now. Queen c2. Oh, well, that's not a strong queen on e5 or anything. Black's at least equal. Unfortunately, do we have to play king h8? I mean, that seems a little weird. I think I'd prefer h6. I don't like king h8 because we're going to think about king for the endgame, Astrobate. Here we are in the middle game thinking about endgames. King h8 is like not thinking about the endgame. h6 is thinking about the endgame. We want to be closer to the center and be able to play king f8 when we hit endgame land. All right, so king h8, fine. This is just ignorant. I mean, wait, what did you expect would happen now? 3 pawns for a piece? There's not even a perpetual check. And I have to introduce you to the concept that pieces matter more in the middle game than they do in the endgame. So the fact that white has 3 pawns is going to count in the endgame, but not so much here in the middle game. I was expecting rook e6. But Uber Driver brought out the old rook a6, rook h6, Budapest Gambit maneuver. White didn't have the balls to play castle's queenside. This g file could actually be dangerous for white. No, it's just over. You're really down a piece, and your pawns aren't going to cut it at this stage of the game. So white should do anything in his power here to trade pieces, trade queens, definitely, if it's possible. Of course, black will not agree to a trade of queens. And murder, she wrote, I feel a rook takes h2 sacrifice coming on. Almost. And this is basically like a nasty sort of setup with bishop e7 and rook h2. White wouldn't fall for that, would he? Now it's rook takes h2. Just cover your eyes. He actually fell for it. Oh my god. Ugh. Alright, man. I can't watch anymore. Avert your eyes from the violence. So that's why you play the Budapest Gambit. Nefedov is up next. Nefedov, Merle, De La Soul, and Clash Kid if we can do it. 25 minutes left. Some violent bishops from b7 come into the play today. Merle Dixon, Dear Master. LM Spear versus Sheer Fear. Merle Dixon has a sense of humor. Gotta appreciate it. Just don't mind the sleeping panda. Let sleeping pandas lie. That's what I say. We were celebrating my daughter's birthday and Panda had a little too much. It's cool. It only happens once a year. Alright. So we got white. No, we got black. Another black. The French. Yeah, we're busting the Botvinnik for Nefedov. Nefedov is next. Oh, I'm supposed to do Nefedov. We'll do Nefedov next. He won't mind. Nefedov, are you here? You're supposed to be this game. Merle's supposed to be after you, but it doesn't matter. But we'll do both. But anyway, Nefedov. We like Botvinnik. I recommend this move. Taking with the pawn, because this is Botvinnik, and it's the most solid way for black to possibly play against the Tarrasch. I think this is rock solid. Magnus G. Okay, knight f3. The old days, bishop e5. Maybe even more popular. Knight f3, knight f6, check, here, here. I mean, there are other moves. There's like queen e2 check. I don't know what the status of that is. There's something weird about this. Let's go back a second. Hold on. Okay. Bishop e5 check is one thing. Someone mentioned d takes c to me. I think move 11. He's playing now, or he's not here tonight. I don't get d takes c5. I think it's stupid. But knight f3, okay, fine. But why do we play knight f6 here? I mean, isn't knight c6? This is more normal. This is some sort of fine-tuned move order. Traditionally in the Tarrasch defense, it's more correct to play knight c6 than knight f6 first. Same thing here, behind your pawns is like thematic, according to Rubinstein. No, but interesting. It's a bias, I think. It's kind of a bias. Probably both moves are good. Check, bishop d7, knight d7. No time for queen takes. Excuse me. Guinea pig allergies. Bishop e7. Well, we got to block the e file. Yeah, we're taking with the knight. This reminds me a little bit of like a Queen's Gambit declined. It's like playing black against Zoltan Ribley. It's about as much winning chances as you get. You have about as much winning chances as you get playing Zoltan Ribley with black. Bishop e7, d takes c5, knight takes c5, knight b3. Shake hands and draw. I mean, if you want to play for a win here with black, you're probably playing the wrong line, maybe the wrong opening. But it seems kind of weird to take on b3. And the database bears out what I thought. Knight e6 is kind of aggressive, and that seems to be too much. You're supposed to play knight e4. I don't like opening the A file for white, you know? Castles even seems reasonable. So I don't like this move. Merle makes a mistake here. It's a very minor mistake. Miroslav Filip, 1977. Not a bad player. Castles, bg5, and now h6. Fine. Bishop h4. Merle just flat out drops a pawn now? Wow. Unheard of. Sheer fear, just dropping pawns against LM Spear. You're playing for the loss here. It was almost like you were teasing him. Like, I can give you a pawn and still not lose. He's 26-20? Where was this played? Is that here on lichess? Like, here, have a pawn. It's still very, almost impossible to win with white. Oh no, the heavy piece, the dreaded heavy piece endgame. Is there any way he can prevent that from happening? So he's supposed to play queen a5. Little did he know. He has to play like queen a5, stopping knight d2. Toying with the master. You're never going to win this against Merle. Heavy piece endgame with an extra double pawn. Good luck, man. He didn't even try very hard. He knows who he's up against. Okay, I mean, yeah, Magnus would probably win this against Merle on time, but it's a very tough position to win. White actually created some weaknesses. We got the 7th rank. The king side's weakened with g3. Computer doesn't even give White an advantage here. Okay, good game, Master. You're taking liberties there with knight e4. Nefedov is up next. All right, he was supposed to be up already. All right. Well, White didn't really make that many mistakes, you know. What did he make? Like one mistake when he played queen b5 or something? My choice. You guys want to just, you know, blind raise, click to expand. This looks good. Nefedov, Pyrrhic defense, whole mob system. Oh my god. This is his win against me where I dropped a piece. Alright, fine. It's a short game. Let's do it. I just dropped a piece in simul mode. I made a mental mouse slip, sort of. Well, I made one blunder. Make a 55 cent upon lost blunder. But let's see what happened anyway, okay? Knight c3, g6, bishop c4. This move is kind of popular, but usually they're playing it like knight f3, bishop g7, bishop c4. What I don't get about Nefedov is, like, he's not playing the old school John Nunn, queen e2 type of thing here. I think that that's still recommended by most top players. There's the queen sack line. Knight c6, e5, knight takes d4 at some point. I guess it's here, right? Knight takes d4, e takes f6, knight takes e2. I don't know, I guess theoretically this is good for white. No, still probably good for white. So it looks like e5, you have to play knight d7. I know very little about this. Finest versus Jonathan Spielman, 1994. Great. Anyway, Nefedov plays this, f3. I know nothing about this. I have not seen this ever, like in a book or mentioned anywhere. Nefedov played this against me twice now. What is this move? No, okay, so it's like f3, and then you play bishop c4. I mean, this is how it's going to be played mostly. f3, and then randomly bishop c4. Not mentioned in any books I've ever seen. Jan left the building. Dennis Rodman played it once with white. Levente Vaida lost with black. That hurts. He was smoking too many cigarettes against his 2298 opponent or something. I don't know, man. What would make Levente lose to a 2298? That's pretty bad. He overpressed, most likely. He does crazy stuff with black. So this is amazing, like how few games there are. Bishop g7, bishop c4. Man, all right. So c6 is interesting. I thought about that at the time. I don't know why I didn't like c6. It seems like a good setup. Very like logical. You're threatening d5. I don't remember what I played against Nefedov in the previous game. I might have played c6 actually. So bishop g7, f3, and yeah, no, okay, now I did c6. Okay, so we're here. And then Nefedov plays a4. And that's weird. You're expecting a kind of like castles queenside or something. So look at the score. Elvest, 0-1. Benko, 0-1. Tukmakov, 0-1. And random guy, 0-1. That's pretty good. 4 wins with black amongst the top players. But the weird part is, I don't think this position is that great for black. The only thing is they're all like low-rated players. 2350, 2320, 22 and 22. That's why white lost. It's actually an interesting system. Very okay for white. But what's the best reaction here? So I'm the first person to play d5. I guess this is just a bad move. So they all just castled. They're not afraid. Benko Pal C. Also of Budapest. We're co-residents of Budapest. Benko's like 90. Gosh, I want to say he can't be 90, can he? Benko is like 91. Is that possible? I think he's like 91 or 92 this year. That's crazy. Okay, a4. So what am I supposed to play? They all just castled. Knight e2. What would Jan do? And they played d5 anyway. No, Tukmakov played that. Alexander Chernayev, Ginsburg. Jan didn't play castles or what? What did Jan do? Oh, Jan's opponent played bishop e3. I mean, Jan is the player I had the most respect for. I mean, Benko I have respect for, but technically speaking, like Elvest is like deserving of great respect. A very strong player. I would trust his judgment on openings. What does he do here? So bishop e3 and then d5. We have something similar, you know. But black did manage to lose a couple games here. This is weird. So anyway, a4 castles, no d5, and then I don't know what to do. I took here, so e5. This was a good setup apparently. d5 castles, bishop g5, knight d7. Everything was going according to plan. He takes on c6. He no longer has a strong point. Fine, black's doing fine. Queen d6. I played queen b6. I played it okay. Yeah, this is not what I expected. I did not expect Nefedov to castle queenside after playing a4. So I was thinking he's just going to play like knight f3 in this position. But, you know, he was probably scared of knight g4. Maybe I have that. But queenside castles definitely surprised me. And I was shocked. So I played h6. White plays this. This also surprised me. I never expected him to give up his dark square bishop here. Now I could take back either way. I mean, maybe taking back with the knight was a better move. It would have mobilized my bishop on c8. Gives me huge dark square threats. I think I just dropped the ball here. Looking at this from white's perspective, now I'm like convinced that I should have played knight takes f6. Furthering my development, threatening knight g4. Okay, the problem is he has this, queen takes g6. I don't even think that's a move that even does anything for white. This is interesting. So I think I made a mistake there. Let's see what the engine says. We gotta go soon, guys. We have like 15 minutes left. But I'm curious which way black recaptures. Yeah, it's with the knight. I really didn't consider this long enough. I was playing quick moves. This was a huge mistake for me, not take with the knight. Nefedov misplayed this, giving up his dark square bishop. And then knight f3, and then the plan was to play king g7, and then knight c5, and I just forgot. So it's kind of embarrassing. I think that black is slightly better after king g7. Dark square bishop, b file. His limited white square bishop, his only good piece, but it's not supported by the other pieces. So I think after this I definitely prefer black. Tiny bit. I just hung a piece here. I completely overlooked queen takes f6, and I just resigned. Alright, it happens. So Dela is up next. We've got try to do the Clash Kid game, De La Corda and maybe Clash Kid. All right, De La Corda here. David Shankland. We've got, I was white, okay. No relation to Sammy Shankland. Sorry, probably not. He's from UK. Where did I go? Clicked on the wrong thing. All right. So, De La Corda is white against Sam Shankland. D4, knight f6, knight f3, d6, c4, g6, knight c3, bishop g7. This is refreshing. And here you played an interesting move, h3. I've actually played this on occasion, just looking for something out of the ordinary. Another weird move I think I saw Humpy Konaru play once, which was like queen c2, played by Arbakava Mengarini. If you're ever looking for something like offbeat, you know, h3. Okay, in your case, you just use it to play a form of bishop f4 system, in which you know h3 is normal anyway. I've done some weird stuff. I've experimented with like bishop e3 and stopping knight g4. If you want to just take black out of their normal book, you could try to do something weird like bishop e3, queen d2, and bishop h6. It's probably not great for white, but just to take black out of theory. Anyways, okay, h3 castles bishop f4, bishop d7. It's just a completely random move. It doesn't really make sense, you know. I mean, black really needs to decide, is he going to play for e5 or c5? It's a normal King's Indian scenario, and I think b6 is a good way to go. Just the b6, the Magnus Carlsen-esque kind of like double fianchetto, you know, just calmly, whatever. I'll just do bishop b7. Garcia Palermo is following us around again. Knight bd7 is kind of classical. It's hard to enforce e5. There's the knight c6, knight d7 in e5 approach, which I've been there with Roman Gingiashvili, and Roman used to play this type of setup all the time in Blitz with white. We would play consultation games, and I'd watch Roman play these lines. Black would play knight c6, knight d7, and e5, and you kind of get repulsed, but try to just keep a small advantage. So that's standard. c5 is standard. I've tried c5 with black, but this move doesn't make any sense. So e3, c5. I mean, c5 is fine, but bishop d7 and c5 had no relation to each other. And then d5. You don't need to do it. You can play this two ways. You can play d5, or you can not play d5. I think in both cases, bishop on d7 is not great. Maybe I like d5 better. All right. There's no e6. And now here, I think you probably up to screwed. You play queen d2. I think it's better to play knight d2. If you play knight d2, he still doesn't have e5 or e6 because the d6 pawn is hanging. And then knight d2, you stop knight e4. So I think this is just nice for white after knight d2. Queen d2 is a little more accommodating. Here, knight a6, rook c1. Yeah, I did a similar move in a team game a couple years ago. The rook doesn't really play from here. Knight c7, bishop d3. Now black's going to blow you up with b5. Yeah, I mean, you kind of need to exploit that queen on a5. So typically what you do is you play knight d2, and then you've got all kinds of good stuff. a4. If they try to come in here, you play rook a3 and you trap them. The queen is actually misplaced. As I said on my stream lately, queen a5 is always bad. And definitely true. So this was a huge mistake, queen d2. Trust me, I know this kind of structure. So I play with bishop on g5 all the time. This is not great. Knight c7, bishop d3, and he blows you up. And now I like black. I like black here. I think he's just good. I'm not sure he should give up his I'm not sure if he should give up his bishop or not. Maybe knight takes and knight takes d5 is the best. Is there a trap? Knight takes, pawn takes, knight takes d5, bishop e4, knight f4, bishop a8. No, there's knight d3 check. This looks good. So there are problems now. He's kind of destroyed your center. Your bishop's not great. I'm not sure black played it either. I don't like allowing him into b4. I think you should probably play a3. You're going to have problems with that pawn falling, though. Rook b8, knight c7. Your structure is kind of broken up. Again, okay, he's attacking b2. So what are we going to do? Oh, this doesn't look good. This doesn't look good. b3, not lose the pawn, I guess. That's probably the best thing we can do. Literally, b3. And try to hang on to the pawn. Bishop b2, rook d1. Yeah, this is the only solution. My judgment. Guys, we gotta go soon. Computer doesn't like b3? Yeah, it likes b3. It's debating. Maybe knight c4? Isn't that bad? Okay. Apparently it's not that bad. I was afraid of d5. It looks kind of scary. Okay. Wow. What's the deal? Is this for real? Didn't mean to rhyme. Rook d1. Wow, okay, so this isn't good. You had to play b3. Yeah, the computer just needed to see the horizon. You had to play b3. You're in trouble now. This isn't good enough. This is too dangerous. It's still a game. Massive pass pawn for black. Maybe he's being too generous. Wow, that's a pass pawn. But he missed bishop takes c2 trap. So he's winning if f5. Bishop b1? How does that work? How does it work? Oh no. But how does this work? Bishop e1 and then c4 esh. I just still don't get it. Like, apparently eventually these pawns become devastating. Alright, but he fell for the trap. Bishop c2, knight c2, rook d2, and it's holdable now. We're in endgame land. And this actually leaves you better. At the end of the day, you have the outside pawns. No, and the king f1 is nice, but you got to get your pawns moving. I would think a4. Is a4 too slow? Apparently he has saving move, rook c4 and rook c5. Okay, so that's not enough. You have to play only move bishop d4. And you could play like f4 to help stop f6 e5. And this also attacks this pawn over here. Okay, well, with the help from the engine, I found bishop d4. I'm not sure I would have found it. King f1 is a normal move. But if you toe the line here perfectly, you're still better, almost winning with bishop d4. The outside pawns. King f1, okay, draws a fair result. Alright guys, today's party. I'm going to just very quickly... No, Clash Kid didn't submit a game finally. Okay, I guess he gave up. Alright guys, that's it for today. I will see you guys later. Thanks everybody for hanging out with me. Tomorrow is Friday. Weird Wednesday. Friday is Weird Wednesday. Yeah, I'm normal. Too many beers for Panda and I tonight. Tomorrow's Friday. It's Fast Friday. It's going to be 5+3 challenges against everybody. Delacordo, thank you for the donation. Just remember to play knight to d2 next time. JCS, thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks to everybody for being subscribers. We'll be back tomorrow, 10 a.m. CET, European time. Okay. He's sleeping. I'll just talk for him, just for this one time. Okay. He's just spaced out, man. Too much beer. You can't feed beer to pandas. I'll see you guys later. Have fun, guys. Have a great night. Happy birthday to my daughter. And everybody have a great evening. Take care. Bye-bye.